So I've got a few different goals when I think about growing this YouTube channel and growing myself as a content creator, videographer, filmmaker, and photographer. Number one is to create content that I am genuinely interested in, genuinely care about, and hopefully not have to create too much content that I'm actually not interested in to pay my bills. Number two is to hopefully help and maybe even inspire some other creators around the world, because I absolutely love to get comments that my videos are genuinely helping people. And then my third goal is to create an income that is self-sustaining from online sources. And what I mean by that is it means it's not reliant on other people like clients or bosses. And again, hopefully that feeds back into number one, into creating content that I actually care about and am interested in. And it's that third point that I want to talk about in today's video. So I'm pretty much close to wrapping up my first year on this YouTube channel. And a quick disclaimer, I've had YouTube channels previously in the past, but this channel right here, I've put the most focus into this year, sort of started on January 16th, 2020, and we are rapidly approaching the end of that term this year. So I thought I'd make an interesting and informative video for other creators who are maybe thinking of starting their YouTube channel as to how much money I actually made pretty much exclusively from the channel this year, 2020, up until January 2021. Now, my motivation for doing this is a few fold. First of all is that I genuinely want to get a little bit more honest, candid, and open in terms of the type of content that I have here on the channel, and hopefully genuinely help some other creators who are in a similar position that I was a few months ago. You know, I was just starting working for myself, and I thought that YouTube would be a fantastic thing to focus on as we went into this, mental global pandemic. And in terms of the driving force behind the financials, I've recently been watching a lot of a YouTuber called Ali Abdaal. I'll link him down below in the description, and he subscribes to the idea that by talking about money, by being more open and honest about financials, we create an environment and society that is genuinely just a bit happier and healthier. And speaking entirely from experience, I know that as someone who has started working for myself in the last year, I would have found this video extremely interesting, talking about the financials of how much you're probably going to make within a range after, a bunch of hard work, but a solid year of starting a YouTube channel from scratch. So before we jump in front of the computer screen here, there's a couple of things I do want to talk to you about. Most notably is talking about income streams and different types of income streams as a YouTuber or online creator. And basically this is the idea that it is going to be a long time, if at all, on your channel that you are able to earn enough money from strictly YouTube. So strictly YouTube AdSense, Google AdSense, or just advertising revenue on YouTube. For my friends in the States, these numbers are going to be in pounds, so just times the pound number by 1.35 and you'll get to roughly the dollar amount. But the average median salary here in the UK is just under £30,000, which means that I would need to get to, with an RPM of £2.71, I would need to get to almost 11 million views here on the channel in 1 year to earn that amount from YouTube advertising. That is obviously a massive number. That's almost a million views per month, which is, you're a pretty successful YouTuber if you can get to that point. But that means that you need multiple streams of revenue, multiple ways to monetize your content and monetize your audience. Many YouTubers will sell merchandise, whether that be actual physical merch or downloadable merchandise like presets or LUTs here if you make filmmaking or photography videos. Some other creators use Patreon to directly receive revenue from their viewers in exchange for exclusive content, that type of thing. And it's also, of course, no secret that sponsorships and brand deals are an absolutely massive part of revenue for creators. Unfortunately, as a small YouTube channel, like for instance, my channel that's now at 8,500 subscribers from its first year, brands aren't super interested at this point in sponsoring your channel. However, I have partnered with a couple of brands, and there are ways to make yourself more attractive as a smaller creator. And for me, the most important way is actually working to create content together versus just working on almost like an influence deal. And I'll discuss that a little bit more later. And then another revenue stream is affiliate marketing. And that has actually been one of my most successful revenue streams this year on the channel as I was just starting out, because there's very low barrier to entry. Most affiliate programs you can just sign up for. We'll definitely talk about that a little bit later on. Alright guys, so we're here in the YouTube analytics now, and I'm actually going to take you through pretty much like exactly month by month what my revenue looked like since literally starting the channel last year. So if we switch the graph to the 365-day view, you'll be able to see that we have the sort of map of revenue based on the last 365 days. Now, obviously on YouTube, you need to achieve YouTube partner status to start making revenue. And I actually achieved that milestone about halfway through the year. So I started uploading on the 15th of January, as you can see here. And then on the roughly, the beginning of July, I was monetized. I hit the thresholds and I started to upload monetized content. So you can see that all of this graph has sort of gradual increase in revenue. And I will take you through month by month the sort of individual earnings, but there's a couple of sort of takeaways and things where things get a bit interesting. First of all is obviously this sort of step change in the middle. And that is because I published a video that did exceptionally well, drove a whole bunch of subscribers to my channel, and also, got a bunch of views. So it did quite well in terms of revenue as well. So guys, I have enlarged this revenue graph, as you can see, and here we go. We can sort of, you get a full picture of the year, and there's the first 6 months where I wasn't making any monetized revenue from YouTube. And then we go into this sort of July, and you can see that the first month of July 2020, I made £66.60, and then the next month in August, 114.25. So we were seeing a real gradual increase, like every single month was more than the previous month, as hopefully you would expect with a growing YouTube channel. And then, as I say, October and November is where things got quite interesting in terms of the channel. I started to get a bunch of views, bunch of subscribers, and that sort of translated into revenue through this, as you can see. So we over doubled September. So September I had £134.24, and then that went straight to £280, and then the next month was substantial at £700.89. So if we just plug that in, 700 times by 1.35, so that's $945, and you can see that is that's a substantial amount of money. And then into December, we made 355, so it did come down quite dramatically from the November amount, but it was also over substantially over the previous highest number. So that's sort of a view on all of the different revenue numbers per month since getting monetized. Now, it is obviously important to remember that your graph isn't going to look exactly like mine. If I hadn't have had this peak, I would probably have got a sort of gradual trajectory and ended up making maybe £300 a month towards the end of the year. But for my channel and the type of content that I make, I was super happy to get monetized halfway through the year and then starting to see some significant revenue towards the end of the year, which I was super happy about. All right, so this is where I earned the bulk of my YouTube money this year. And I call it YouTube money because whilst affiliate marketing is not directly related to YouTube income, you basically can't make money in this space unless you have some type of either online influence or online traffic, whether that be a website or a social media following. If you're new to affiliate marketing, what a very brief overview of it is that you supply a link, whether it be in like your video description or on a website or a social media page. And what you then allow a business to be able to do is you send traffic to that business. And then if someone goes on via your link to purchase an item, you will make a small commission based off that transaction. So for me here on the channel, I talk about content creation, I talk about cameras, I talk about camera gear, video production and photography. So the logical thing for me is to link and talk about those items, and then people down below in the description might click on one of those links, go through to one of the websites that are linked and then make a purchase. I make a small commission based on those clicks and those transactions that are occurring. So the biggest affiliate program by far online is the Amazon affiliate program. And what this basically means is that you send traffic to Amazon. If somebody goes and purchases something within a 24-hour window, you will receive a commission based on that transaction. Like I said, I'm a member of a few different sites, so I'm not going to break down sort of each program individually. I don't want to break any rules, but what I will do is combine my affiliate income and just take note that Amazon is a large proportion of this. But like I said, I'm going to break down this month by month and we can go through how much I made with affiliate marketing in the first year on this channel. So in January, I actually earned nothing. You know, the channel was only up for 2 weeks in January, so there was a big fat earning of zero. However, I did start to generate some clicks to links to products. So I had about 100 clicks to be exact. However, in February, that was when the first sort of revenue through the affiliate program started, and I earned $90, so starting to pick up just a little bit. In March, again, small earnings increased. I earned about $115. So, you know, a bit up on the $90. And again, the clicks hopefully climbing month by month. In April, this actually went down quite substantially, which can sometimes happen. That's just the way these things go. I ended up actually only making $25 in April. However, in May, things really started to kick off and I had a couple of relatively successful videos and I think that was what contributed. They were talking about cameras and lenses, and I actually made $470 in the month of May, and that was substantially more than any YouTube revenue that I was ever making at that point. June was a little bit lower, but still a decent month. I made just under $400 that month. Another steady month in July, and we're starting to see the graph sort of level out. You know, I'm earning roughly consistently this sort of $300 to $400 mark now from affiliate marketing. In July, I made $305. Now, August was a very good month, and for me, this is about finding a type of videos that works well and your sort of fan base, your viewer base is genuinely interested in. For me, this is camera rig videos. I make quite a lot of camera rig videos here on the channel. And in August, I started to make that type of video and things started to really pick up in terms of affiliate revenue. So like I said, August was a real winner. I made $607 in August. And then that continued into September where I made $660 and another strong month in October. And then again, we see this sort of stabilization where the amount of money that I'm making is relatively flat for these last sort of 3 to 4 months. And in October, I generated $670. November was actually quite a lot lower than I was expecting because of things like Black Friday. Generally, you'd expect this month to actually pick up, but I actually generated only $380. I think this is either due to me not publishing enough videos or other creators publishing more videos, so there's just more competition for people's clicks onto Amazon. And then finally, in December, I ended up earning a decent amount of $525, so a fairly consistent way to end out the year. And so if we add all of those numbers together, we total $4,242, and converting that to pounds, we get £3,142. So it took me about 4 months on this channel, this brand new channel, to start getting any traction at all with brands. Now, it's no secret that the vast majority of revenue for creators comes from sponsorship deals, or for larger creators, I should say. These sponsorship deals can sometimes be absolutely massive amounts of money just for one dedicated video. However, for smaller channels like me, that type of revenue isn't there. For brands, they're not going to be paying you for the influence that your channel holds. However, something which I've found massively beneficial is to partner with brands to create content versus leveraging your follower base. Brands will definitely pay smaller creators for their content, but they won't quite pay you yet for your reach. This year, I've even had brands approach me and ask to create content for their YouTube channel where I can actually start charging almost like a freelance rate because I'm just billing my time versus actually my online platform. But that job and that revenue wouldn't have come at all if I hadn't been doing or making videos here in the first place. So this year, I've done a total of 4 brand collaborations. I won't say sponsorships because that's not, like I say, the way that that's always worked, but that's netted me around about the £1,500 mark. So guys, when we add up all of these sources together, from YouTube ads, affiliate marketing, sponsorships, we're left with a total of £6,379 or $8,611. Now this isn't obviously enough to cover a salary, cover your living expenses. It definitely wouldn't be worth the amount of time and work that I've put into this channel if I was just getting that much money for those videos. However, the idea that this compounds over time, the fact that hopefully after spending this year, this amount of money should grow quite substantially into next year. I think this is a really promising step. And the other thing being that this is literally from standpoint zero. This is from not making any money to on a YouTube channel to making, £6,500 or almost $9,000 within the space of 1 year. And I think that's pretty great. Hopefully you guys have found this interesting. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, drop them in the comments section down below. I'll be down there answering as always. I make tons of videos here on content creation, photography, filmmaking, all that type of thing. So if you are interested in seeing more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button and I'll catch you guys next time.